How do you pronounce it?
Gruyère.
Gruyère?
You're almost there. Gruyère.
I'm looking.
Cheddar next time.
Welcome to Time to Taste. I'm Lara, and this is my co-host Dylan.
Hi Laura, thank you so much. And we are here with the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Mo Coppoletta.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mo.
In this unusual setting.
Thank you so much.
I don't know what's going to happen today, but anyways, let's try.
I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Would you like to walk us through the recipe that you wanted to make?
There's not much of a recipe. It's very simple. This morning, it's Saturday morning, and we come from Friday night, so it's a very brunchy, breakfasty kind of take, which involves very little skills, not much of a preparations, but a lot of satisfaction if well performed. So let's get cracking.
I've never heard you to not perform, Mo.
Well, it's been said.
So what do we need first? Do you want to talk us through what we're going to do?
Well, recipe-wise, I'll make like a classic omelette, ham and cheese omelette, and then a sandwich, like a proper breakfast brunch sandwich with salmon, avocado, and horseradish, and I'll guide you through it. So two dishes, two recipes that help on a Saturday morning, together with some freshly squeezed juice.
Fantastic.
Or Bloody Mary, or champagne, or whatever you want to drink on that.
In French, we say guérir le mal par le mal, which is cure the bad with the bad.
That's it. That's
the hair of the dog.
The hair of the dog, exactly.
Fantastic.
We live and swear by it. Should we go?
Yeah, let's get stuck
Fantastic.
in.
So basically, this recipe, or this way to cook an omelette, has been taught to me by an Italian art critic. It's not rocket science, but there are a few tricks that normally makes that omelette nice and fluffy, beautiful. Normally, but today we'll see. And plus the flipping bit, it's very, I don't know, I need a drum roll for that. I don't know what's going to happen.
That's the part I'm very excited about.
See. So if you want, guys, I'll just crack on with it. You ask me whatever you want to ask. 4 eggs for the three of us. 4 eggs, very nice and easy. It's 4 eggs. This is the easiest bit. A little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of milk, just enough to make the. I don't measure. I never measure. I come from my mom's school of cooking. We never measure anything. We just go with our feeling. And the main thing is that a little bit of nutmeg as well. Is that the eggs should not be whisked too much or beat, but just you break the yolks gently and make a little bit of a melange, but not too much. You leave a lot of texture into it. It's not overbeat eggs. You just break them and kind of slightly mix the whole ingredients, no more than that. And that will ensure, I believe, that's what I've been told, more fluffiness when the omelette and the texture of the eggs will be.
So, Mo, tell me a little bit about yourself, because obviously you started in, I guess the world knows you as perhaps one of the foremost tattoo artists. And do you find that there's a lot of similarities between cooking and tattoos?
Well, they both need to be performed and cannot be delegated to any machinery or computers. So it's like watchmaking and shoemaking, tailoring. You have to actually make them with your hands. So that's a similarity. Tattooing is way more precise, if you want. Depends what kind of cooking. I'm talking about like nice and homey, beautiful cooking. You always have. I always seen my mom cooking, and it's, as I said, there's no measures, there's no mathematic.
It's more of an art than a science.
It's you go with your feelings.
Yeah.
In tattooing, you have to be quite precise. There are rules. There are spaces to follow. It comes from it's very close to graphic design. But then the performance, of course, you got the skin, so everything has to be quite accurate. The gesture of the handful of salt, you can't do that. You need to be very precise. Or if you mimic it, it needs to be mimicked,
Yeah.
like to perfection. So there's nothing, it's not like on a canvas that you can have a little bit, you know, the texture of the brush, or tattooing is a very precise science, you know, it's mathematics, basically.
How did you get into it?
I think I forgot. It's been so long. I think it's just one of those things you get into. You fall in love with something, and you follow, and you get interested, and then you toy with the idea of trying, and you give it a go. It doesn't work. It works a little bit. You start to work more, and then you start thinking maybe I'll turn into a job, and then maybe I'll turn into a lifetime job. Then you turn. Maybe I do my own studio. Maybe I have more people. It's gradual.
So you fell into it. It wasn't something that was thought out and planned and.
No, I fell into it because of the time when I started, and I'm not going to say when, because that would make people assume how old I am, and I can't do that.
I understand.
So, no, but it was a long time ago. It was almost 30 years ago. And at the time, there was a huge tattoo renaissance going on in the world, spread from America to Japan. And it was very underground and very obscure, but there was a new breed of tattoo artists who came in with a lot of creative ideas, and we used to have wind of that in Italy through some obscure magazines that you could only find in one newsstand in our little town, and only in 2 copies. So, of course, no Instagram, no internet, no nothing. Not even internet was there. So you just wait every month or every 2 months for these magazines to come out to see the new thing. You start traveling the world, visiting studios. It was one thing after another. Yeah. It was much different than what it is today, and what happened in the last 30 years of tattooing, 25 years of tattooing.
And do you find that, I mean, tattooing as an art form has evolved over the years? Or
Yes, it has changed as well. Technically, not so much. I mean, the equipment and the technique refined, but it hasn't changed how it works. Mm-hmm. You insert pigment through some needles under the skin. Of course, it refined a lot, and it became way more sophisticated, if you want, so much so that almost anything could be done on skin. Basically, anything could be done on skin. Then there's a debate whether over-detailed or over-shaded work could hold, and I believe there is a limit. But you could perform it on skin, and it could look good for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Then what happens in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 20 years' time to a tattoo, it's, you have to take that into consideration. Sometimes tattoo artists do, sometimes they don't. It's a long debate,
So tattoos, I guess patina, similar to how watches patina.
But patina is no good. I mean, tattoos by definition they sit under your skin, they settle, they fade, they spread a bit. So it's on your body. If you get tattooed when you are in your 20s, in your 70s, your tattoos won't look like an illustration. They will everything will look like 70 years old, and the tattoos as well, So they age like that. Yeah.
Do you find that tattoos keep? I mean, I know that some of my friends that have a lot of tattoos tend to not really have a reason why, or at least not share what the meaning of each tattoo is. But I knew someone that did a whole thesis on tattoos in Ukrainian and Russian prisons and their meaning behind it. And all of these tattoos had very strong meanings of belonging to a certain group, or having things in your past, or having a woman that you loved that maybe passed away, etc. But I feel like with the popularity of tattoos, the strength of the meaning might have faded a bit much. Do you think that?
No, it's quite the opposite, I think. Mm-hmm. I think when we got tattooed, and at that time, there wasn't any, everyone has his own reasons to get tattooed, but it was predominantly purely decorative. of course, he has to be related to you in terms of what you like, you know. But the meaning, the deep meaning of tattoo, so everything has to mean something when you get it, came a little bit later, you know. There was always some sort of, maybe you could get a mixed bag, but the reason, being meaningful, being the reason to get tattooed, it was far from it. People got tattooed because they thought they were cool things to have, they were decorative, they wanted to adorn their body with cool stuff that they liked. But you know, everyone gets tattooed for different reasons. Nothing is set in stone. So, but then later on, especially in the last 10 years, scripts, letterings, meanings, this and that, having a deep motivation in order to get tattooed, yeah, became more popular, but it hasn't always been like that. Yeah. So, you know, when you see heavy covered people, most likely they did it for decorative purposes rather than meaningful purposes. But you never know, you know, to each his own. Let's get on with it. I need full power, a bit of butter, and you shouldn't be too stingy with the butter. Butter is your friend in cooking. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to go overweight with butter, but butter is good. It's a chef. Not that I am one, but my mom says it's a chef's best friend, together with with some garlic. No, all of the garlic. Just when you show it and you take it off. Not just when you eat it. Not when you eat spaghetti with the garlic glove. No. That doesn't work.
So what are you wearing on your wrist today?
A duomètre, Gégé duomètre. It was. I got it exactly when it came out.
Okay.
Because I remember I was being a big fan of Gégé Lecoultre back then, when they had all the master. It was when Jérôme Lambert was there, and then when the duomètre came out, I remember it was 2009 probably, 9-10. I saw it in a magazine. I was like, my God, that's the most beautiful watch I've ever seen. And then I saw the movement, and the dual wing movement is just an incredible watch. And so I got it straight away, and it's been with me ever since. What is it, 15 years now? Oh. So it's always a nice stunner when I put it on. It's nice. Today, you know, at the time, 42 millimeters was acceptable. People were wearing big Panerais, 48. Yeah. These days, if you go over 38, people, oh my God, it's too big. But I think you wear whatever you have to wear. This is perfect for the amount of indications that there's a, you know.
It has presence.
Fly back and double counter, foudroyant. It's a beautiful watch. It's very beautiful.
And what got you into watches? I mean, what was the catalyst?
Well, being Italian, first of all, it's you know, in Italy during the 80s and 90s, you know, the watch is still one big status to have. You know, Italians have been in the forefront of the watch trend in the 80s and 90s for many brands. So that was my first. Everyone in Italy had something cool on their wrist. Yeah. I mean, normally it was Rolex or Breitling at the time. But then I left it for a second because I got interested in other things, and then I started going back to watches in 2005 or 6, and it was there I went all in, like trying to gather as much information on watches as possible, traveling to Geneva back and forth, the SIHH and everything, collecting, and there we go. So we put the eggs in now.
Do you need a spatula or something?
No, I just need a lid.
A lid?
We put a lid on it, and we turn it down to how do they work? What make it to 2?
A 2?
There you go, 2 or 3. Make it 3. Let's go for good measure. And then now we wait for it to cook.
Perfect.
And then we do the famous flip.
I'm very excited.
I'm not. I can't. I don't know what's going to.
We have a lot of eggs, so
we can redo it.
We can do it again.
You can't be brave without having a little fear.
Oh my God. This is a tattoo? This could be a tattoo. Very good, very good. You can get the
what do you
the
use it
ham
for?
and the Gruyere.
Yeah?
I cut the Gruyere in the meantime. It's a lot of performance today. My God, I feel like I'm really under pressure.
So where did you grow up in Italy?
Verona. Verona.
Oh.
Verona is a beautiful city in the countryside of Verona, really. But, you know, quite a nice, tranquil, not too eventful. I mean, it was eventful. We were very enthusiastic at the time about everything, you know. And then I moved to London in 2000 and, in 96. 97 permanently, 95, 96, back and forth. Just to, I was prepping myself for the big move, and that was
How
it.
come? What brought you to London?
Tattooing, you know. I started tattooing in Italy, but only for a few months, and then I was getting tattooed in London at the time. So I just came to look for work, and I managed to land a couple of fantastic jobs in the two most prominent shops in London at the time, and that was it. Then I opened mine in the family business in 2003.
Amazing. And you're still in Exmouth Market, right?
Still in Exmouth Market, 22 years now.
You have to go. You haven't been to Exmouth Market, have you? It's a beautiful place. I mean, there's
Nice,
hustling
very
and
nice.
bustling.
Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice. A lot of bars and things. And plus, it was the old Little Italy of London, so
Yeah.
it was a no-brainer for me. It made sense, you know, when I saw. And I don't live. I live just across the street now, but I used to live pretty much in the area before. So Exmouth Market was always there, and it seemed like the good spot for the shop, and it proved to be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Coppoletta Designs is there as well.
Yeah, then 15 years ago, pretty much, I started designing for brands in general. I mean, because it came as a request first, and amongst the first few projects I did Liberties, some fabrics from Liberties. I did a book with Jack Vetriano, the painter, and then I did, what else did I do back then? Few artwork for other brands, and then I had my first watch assignment, design the dial of a watch, which was with Manuel Emche and Romain Jerome at the time. And you remember you came to the launch, we did the launch of the shop, and that was my and imagine, that was 14 years ago now.
You were already there.
And you were already there. You were already around.
I can't help but notice it's very eye-catching how the hand jumps.
Yeah, that's a sixth of a second of a Foudroyant for the chronograph, and you got one counter there, and then you have a digital counter as well, and the two power reserves. If you wind it clockwise, you wind the time. Wind it anti-clockwise, you wind the chronograph, and then you can reset it to zero.
This is the Italian's way of measuring when the egg.
Measuring the eggs, yes. You have to have a chronograph. Even though today we go by heart, we just check, we see what happens.
So what are we looking for?
Well, we're looking for the eggs to cook, and I'm usually good with a gas thing. I don't know how to modulate the induction thing, but being Italian, I'm sure we'll get along in a second.
Do your clients that you've tattooed see themselves as a community as well as I don't know, someone who would purchase a watch from a certain brand?
It used to be more of a community. I mean, back in the days of tattooing, when I was on my learning curve and then I set up the shop, there was a more worldwide community. It was a very close-knit. Everyone knew everybody. And then with the huge popularity of tattooing of the last 15 years, 20 years if you want, it got better for certain aspects and worse for others. Of course, now it's so widespread, and the offer and it's so big. There's so many tattoo artists around the world that it was more populated by collectors who knew everything about tattooing back in the days. These days it's more like a commodity. And so he has lost a little bit of the charm, of the coolness factor. But you know, it's like it's only normal. You know, it's when something becomes very popular and becomes of a popular domain, and you know, you start with the sports people getting tattooed, and everyone was heavily tattooed. So that could only open to a more democratization of the trade, which was good for certain aspects, of course. But you know, he has lost that coolness that he had at the beginning. But you know, also that's me growing, and the young generations have different motivations why they tattoo. They get tattooed, so it's slightly different. It's the same product, but different feel. Do we have a spatula?
Yes.
It's almost showtime here. Thank you very much. Let me see what these eggs are doing.
Oh, look at that.
Slowly, it will get there. Oh.
Beautiful. Oh, it's done more one side than the other.
Let it cook through another little bit, and then we will start dressing it, and then the famous flip. And then we put it on the side for 5 minutes before we cut it.
And what do you usually pair this with? Do you have like a juice or something that you...
To drink?
Yeah?
Whatever you guys want.
So I mean, my good go-to hangover cure is celery, citrus, carrot, vodka, and ginger. I mean, and that's what...
Let's do that.
Yeah?
Let's be sensible. It's only...
Perfect.
It's only 12. Let's be sensible. We go... Who's gonna do the juice? Do we have everything?
Yep.
We've got 2 lemons here.
Perfect.
Do you have a second chopping board?
Yes.
I will start adding a little bit of the ingredients. So I put the Gruyere.
Oh wow, look at that.
We put the Gruyere, we put, let's go, cheese is never enough. We rip a little bit of the ham, put it there. Let's be generous with the ham too.
This will cure more than a hangover.
Oh, this will cure everything. And now it's drum roll. I wonder if it's a bit stuck. I don't know if it's a perfect fold, but there you go.
Oh.
And now you leave it here
Beautiful.
to rest for a little bit.
Oh, I think it's turned off because of the water.
We can turn it off if you want. We just leave it with the heat. It carries on with the heat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Leave it there. Yeah. So this is done.
Perfect.
One take. Told you. There's nothing. I was like, this time it's not gonna flip. It's gonna be stuck in one corner. And, yeah. Well, it's 99%. It could a little bit more. It's fine.
I think it's good.
It's not the right morning to complain about a centimeter of overlapping. I don't think it is. The ingredients are all there. Let's wait for the Gruyere to melt, and then we can serve it.
Fantastic.
So we've got our carrots and greens ready here.
Jesus, that's a lot of juicing there. Fascinating. Oh. There you go. At least it didn't happen to the omelette.
I did not expect it.
I love me a good carrot juice. Do you mind top and tailing them? Just the top.
Oh, the smell of this.
Oh.
Ooh.
Told you. I can only do this. This is all I can do in the kitchen. Take care of breakfast.
So did you grow up watching your mother cook?
Well, eating more than watching. Eating what my mother is still to these days amazingly performing in the kitchen.
Yeah. What's her signature dish?
She's renowned in our village and all the villages next to us to be one of the most remarkable cooks.
Really?
I know every Italian guy says, my mom, but my mom spent her life through recipes and things, and it's unbelievable. There's not such a signature dish. It's anything she touches: fish, meat, pastas, risotto, anything. Roasts.
What's your Madeleine de Proust? Have you ever, Proust is this French author.
Ah, that could be the Madeleine.
Yes, exactly.
You reminisce your. What could that be? What could that be? Well, it's difficult to find it in London. So, oh my God, my mum risotto is impossible.
Well, it could be your mom's risotto.
Probably nutmeg actually, because we use it as a spice in our regional risotto, which is made with pork and veal meat, and we use that. So when I was grating it earlier, I had that little bit of our kitchen.
That's sweet.
Save a stick of celery for a possible alcoholic beverage, please. Don't put it all in there. We might dry, because I think this will be good, but it's healthy.
It's healthy. Yeah.
I'll save a few.
This is honestly a game changer because it cold presses it the way that it.
Yeah. In fact, it doesn't just grate it.
Yeah. What we should do is
Are you?
Get a
what
carafe.
are you eating?
One of the celery bits.
I thought we weren't allowed to eat on set.
you got to taste the food, right?
No, because I haven't had breakfast and I'm smelling this thing coming through. No, later. We'll serve it later. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh
now.
wow.
I was surprised that you asked for Gruyere. It's very Swiss.
But it's
How do you pronounce
homage to the watchmaking. There you go.
Fantastic.
it? How do you pronounce it?
Gruyere.
Gruyere?
You're almost there. Gruyere.
I'm looking.
Cheddar next time. Next time it's going to be cheddar. Cheddar.
So that's the orange ginger. We continue now with the celery.
Fantastic. No. Oh. That's it.
Et voilà.
Use a little wipe.
The San Francisco dough. I'll make a couple, okay? I'll make two so we can half them.
Alright, juice is coming along nicely.
Okay, I'll make this one. This one is the.
This one will look prettier.
This one here. Voila. This is the sandwich. Maybe I can make one for
Precise
us.
cuts as well, no?
Listen, I don't. It might be a day out for you. It's a career for me. Okay. Precision. Mm-hmm. As precise. I wouldn't say as a Swiss watchmaker, because they could be precise, but definitely not on time. There's not a single watchmaker in Switzerland who can deliver a watch on time. Can we say that on the thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Years,
Absolutely.
months. I mean, for someone who has to deliver a timekeeping device, they're terribly bad
terrible.
at timekeeping.
Well, I believe that
What?
we're,
If I could make watches, I'd be a billionaire. They are definitely not punctual people. Remarkable. But anyway, they make beautiful creations. What more do you want?
Do you have another watch to show us?
I got thousands. No, I got a few.
Well,
yeah.
no, but-
It depends. What do you
Well,
want to say?
I mean, I think it'll be interesting for the viewers to see and hear a little bit about how your collaboration with Bulgari came along, because that really comes down
But
to your DNA, right?
There was it was in the plans for quite a few years, but for quite a bit, not finding how we could collaborate. And then through Laurent, the three parties decided,
Laurent Picciotto
from Chrono Passion decided to do this limited run of an Octo Finissimo. And we didn't know what technique to use. The idea was like, since it's the thinnest, one of the thinnest watches and bracelets and lightest out there, to wear it like if it was a second skin. So since you deal with skin all the time, why don't you decorate So almost like tattooing the whole
Impressive.
surface of it. And we tried different techniques until we found the right one that could convey the design I had in mind. I tried a million different designs, not a million, but quite a few dozens of designs. Then we picked a theme, and the first one was such a, the reception was so overwhelming that then we decided to do a triptych. And since it started with some sort of a natural elements theme, we carried on with the air, water, and fire for the last ones. Yeah. So that was.
You have them here, right?
I have them here. Should I pick them up?
Yeah, please. Perfect. So now we've got the lamb's lettuce. This is for the salad, right?
No, this is for the sandwich.
For the
it's all in the sandwich. It's a breakfast for the champions. It's not for the faint-hearted, this sandwich I'm going to make, but it's very healthy at the same time, and it's rich and
full of nutrients.
And good. Yeah.
So,
and I might need a little pan because I'll make a little eggs again. This one will do. Just
this one?
Yeah, this one will do. Just make a couple of scrambled eggs real quick.
I'll
crack on with it, right? Fantastic.
So let's give this a...
we can either toast the bread or we can put it in the pan.
Put it in the pan.
So I might need another one to do my little couple of eggs. Do we still have that egg? I use that one. Yeah, you can put that on the side for the moment, and then I will. Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Of course.
So this is a sandwich that I claim the paternity of. But one morning I thought, like, why can't I put those ingredients into a sandwich? And I tried. It worked. I don't know if it's going to work today, but it's milk.
Milk's in the fridge.
Let's get full steam on both of them actually, so I can toast the. I'll just put a little bit in there. I'll just beat a couple of eggs, nothing much.
Say when.
Enough. Thank you.
Wait, one more.
Yeah.
Introduction.
So good. So you've got your air, fire.
Air was the first one, 10 pieces. Water was aqua, was 30 pieces, and fuoco, fire, was 15.
Amazing. Look at that. You really do get the whole tattoo spirit.
But it's very decorative as well. So it's and we go back to what we were saying a little bit earlier, that the decorative aspect of it is very important in tattooing. Well, it's body decorations basically. So
And I mean, commercially, it must have been an incredible success.
Oh, yeah, they were sold out pretty much at reveal.
Yeah.
So everyone was very, very happy.
Because I know a lot of people that really wanted it, and then just if you sleep, that's it. It's
yeah, but they're very they're very peculiar watches. So it's and eye catching. They're not. They're showstoppers. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
So for my super breakfast sandwich, I'll make a little bit of
Is this a
scrambled eggs. And then we let them sit for a second, and we're gonna toast our bread in there.
Fantastic.
Another experiment. Let's see what happens.
So how long was the thought process before? I mean, from ideation to actual creation of these watches?
It took. I mean, once we found the way with the first one, then the rest was much quicker.
Yeah.
But the first one took over a year and a half, almost 2 years to, almost like every watch project. Mm-hmm. Nothing is as quick as you think it is. A couple of years for a new project is the bare minimum these days. So
And what technique did you end up using?
Laser. It's laser engravings. So that's a technique and a method that could preserve every single shading and gradient that I did in the original drawings.
Wow.
So basically there's no limits with laser. You could engrave almost anything you wanted. So I think that, in fact, a few people are using now for smaller decoration, watchmaking, to be precise, and I think we will see more of the laser engravings.
And this probably wouldn't have been possible 15 years ago. I mean,
Probably not.
You know.
Probably not. But here is also difficult because every link is different. So
Yeah.
you have to calibrate. I bet there is a hell of a lot of work of setting up.
yeah,
And then of course the machine does it. But the setting up of that,
yeah.
it's not easy. Let's make them nice and crunchy.
What's your creative process?
For anything? Don't know. I mean, you give me something and I run with it. I don't know.
Is it very project dependent?
It depends. I mean, I do so many different things that they're all different. They're all very different, from interiors to watches to illustrations, brand identities. It depends. There's not one thing. Plus, something like that is 2D, but then when you have to design the case, the hands, the dial, the numerals, the thing, the brand identity of something, it's a completely different take. But it's, I think the two main steps are the original idea, the creative idea, the inspiration, where you want to go, and then the realization of it, or how you convey that idea into a form, or into a shape, or into an image. So those are the two main things. For the rest, once you got there, the rest is just a matter of following, seeing. It's like giving birth to something, then you see growing. So you finalize, you fine tune, you do this, you do that, the other. So it's not. After, it's a matter of making little adjustments. But normally, 9 times out of 10, the first idea that I have is the winning one, or the one that everyone likes. Then I develop 2 or 3 more, completely different, in order to prove that the first one was the right one. So you try a few other things. No. Luckily, at the moment, the first idea that springs to mind, the creative idea, storytelling about the first idea, is the one that then I feel very unhappy if I have to let it go. I stick to that even if that idea I can't convey it quite on paper yet, but I still stick to that until that morning with your coffee, that you draw the first couple of lines and then they start speaking to you and then it flourishes. But I don't let the very first storytelling idea go, ever. I just pursue it until I make it good.
And where do you get what is for you your ideal creative hub? Like, where do you lock yourself into your creative hub? Do you look yourself into your room, or I know you're based in Legarda half the time. Do you sit there?
Yeah, but Legarda is, you see, I don't conceive much. Do we have olive oil or lemon? When the sun is shining, I suffer from huge FOMO. If the sun is shining and I need to stay at the desk with the sun shining, with people laughing, I can't. My performing time is, my favorite is 1st of January till April, and gloomy. Gloomy, has to be gloomy. The gloomiest, it is the most creative I get, because I don't miss anything. I'm there, it's cold outside, it's warm inside, I got a big jug of milk, of coffee, and I got my music, and I just stay there. And there's nothing else to do apart from being creative. So that's my main thing. In the summer, you can't be creative. You're shouting, aperitivo.
What music do you listen to? What type of music?
It needs to be very atmospheric music. I'm a romantic at heart, so it needs to be very, very atmospheric. Nothing too challenging. Nothing is very challenging. It can't be. Do we have salmon?
Of course.
We have salmon. We dress that a little bit, and then I'm ready to show the. Let me just put a bit of lemon on it.
This is going to be a sandwich. I'm
It's
excited
going to
for
be a
this.
sandwich of a lifetime, and I put a bit of pepper as well. So I dressed everything. I dressed the lamb's lettuce. I dressed the salmon. I wait for the eggs to cool down a little bit because if they're too warm, it's no good. Then we'll take the bread and I'll take both mayo and horseradish. I'll grab a little knife if you don't mind from here.
Of course.
I believe here. Yes. Move some.
So yeah, I think in order to create, you have to, at least for me, to immerse yourself in some sort of a dreamy situation, and there's nothing else to do, and that's why I want to most. Shall we?
Yes.
We crack on. So what I do on this sandwich, beautiful.
Perfectly toasted.
I'll spread. I know it's not super. It's not bad neither. Oh, forgot the avocado. Need an avocado straight
Right here.
away.
Right here.
So we spread a little bit of mayo on one.
Now this is the most ripe
Do you
one.
want to?
And you have a paper napkin. I'll grab another knife. I'll make your kitchen a mess today, Dylan. I'm sorry. A little bit of horseradish on the other one.
Do you have the other cutting board?
Just
So mayo one side. Do you want to slice it? Should I do it?
Be my guest.
Thank you. At least I'm doing something today. Jesus Christ. What is it? Never call me again. So here we go. There's the avocado. Can I give you this?
Yes.
You're very kind. Thank you very much. So we start. I'll put a bit of the scrambled eggs. A bit of the scrambled eggs. Let's be generous. A bit more. You never know. They're there.
You're Italian, right?
Exactly. Then I'll cut the salmon in pieces, so at least you don't drag everything inside the sandwich with you. Then you put the beautifully dressed salmon. Give it a minute, and then you lay a layer of sliced avocado. I could have sliced it better, but the times, the recording times have no mercy. And then on top, I got this beautiful dressed, lamb's lettuce. This would be, I know it's messy when you eat it, but who cares? It's Saturday morning and you are at home. You're not at the Ritz. Mayonnaise on the other side. Do we have a little plate? I'll move this out of the way for the reveal.
Grab a plate.
Look at that. This will be a magnificent
That
sandwich.
looks so good.
And with the leftovers of the lamb lettuce, we do a bit of garnish on the back here. And this will be just incredible.
Beautiful.
Wow.
This would be just
Well
incredible.
done,
No, have a bite of that. Please, both of you, just grab it. Do it for camera. Have a bite. Have a
Oh,
bite.
we'll share one. You get the other.
Yeah, okay. But just try it.
Come,
Let's try live because
You don't have to.
I'll hold the
This is gonna
plate.
be so
I'll hold the
messy.
plate. You have to try it because we have to see. Listen, I'll try to. Sorry.
Wow.
That's a sandwich. Isn't that amazing? And you got the horseradish that gives you a little bit of that tangy thing, the mayo, the salmon, the eggs, everything. And then you go for a run. Or maybe before.
That's really good. Wow.
We should patent it. Do you mind if I'm...
Yeah, go for it. Wash your hands and...
My God.
That's
Oh my
insane.
God. I haven't done that in months, in
That
years.
is insane.
That is ridiculous.
It's very
Well done, Mo. Wow.
It's good. It's so good.
When are you opening a
A sandwich restaurant.
Mo's Bistro?
I'll grab...
Yep. Try the juice.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure. Isn't that good? I get excited about sandwich because it came out all right.
It's fantastic.
It's very
We have an omelette to
rewarding.
go.
And nice.
Good kick.
Do we have vodka? I'll go back to the. And just because eggs are never enough, let's plate this
Okay,
beauty
you another
here.
plate.
I'll load this. So let's see if it slides. Give me that. And this is the famous omelets. Oh, the Gruyere released a little bit of. Et voila.
Oh,
That's the omelette.
It's stunning.
fantastic.
The ham and cheese omelette. You can have breakfast. You should. I think you should try with a fork. You are the taster.
I'm the
Oh.
taster. This is my position.
And grab a knife as well.
Thank you. Is there a ham in there?
No, you missed.
I missed it. Okay, wait. Let me.
There you go. Now get into the core of it.
Okay. It's a bit big for me. Oh.
But you're right, the texture of it, you still have those pieces of the yolk still in there. It's not completely beaten all the way through.
It's perfect. It's so good.
Stop designing. That's. I'm gonna open an omelette and sandwich shop. That's it. That's the only two things we're gonna do.
Most brunch.
Most cap.
Most brunch. There you go.
Fantastic. This is good.
Very nice.
I'll be the judge of that. I don't know if you're being kind for the camera.
Smashed up.
Jesus Christ.
Well done, mate.
Ali, now you got me intrigued.
Very good. Very, very good. Perfectly seasoned. The cheese.
What else do you want me to do? Come on, ask me. Whilst I'm here, might as well perform.
What do you not do?
I don't do techno music. I don't do. No,
Most do and don'ts.
I don't do techno music. That I still maybe in a couple of years when in my teenage years.
Might be an acquired taste.
Shall we open a bottle of champagne and have some
I
mimosas
think
instead?
so because this is very good. But with this glass of glass of champagne, even because we're almost 1:30.
Yeah, no,
it's about time,
It's time.
isn't it? This is very tasty,
Let's do it.
fantastic.
And then maybe we can have a glass of champagne. You can tell us about your latest project.
Oh,
Mimosa or champagne?
listen. I'll let you.
I'm having a mimosa. Just ease my way into it. It was a heavy night, so
Was it?
yeah.
Oh,
always
no,
is.
last night I took it
Don't-
relatively easy.
Okay, no.
Not for you?
I don't drink alcohol.
Must be an angel.
Let's do this. We've got some Sicilian blood orange.
You do it. I'll mimosa with you. Voila. Cheers.
Wait,
Cheers.
Sorry, can I grab this? Thank you. It's bad luck to not have alcohol, so I dip in the
Oh.
smallest amount.
Well, but at least there is some. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good.
So yeah, tell us about this latest project. I'm very intrigued.
It's a new project, and it's the owner of the brand, which is a new brand, but it's a spin-off of a very successful old brand, Gaga Milano. The spin-off is Gaga Laboratorio, and the owner is Ruben Tomella, who's a very good friend of mine. And well, actually, I designed the Gaga. I redesigned the Gaga Milano logo 15 years ago. That's how we first met. I did their logo, the brand identity back then, and then we always kept in touch until he wanted to do something different in this new macro now world of small independents. Well, these days we call micro brands, who come out with at the entry level of the market, but with incredible creations, like very creative. I mean, we know at least a dozen brands who are doing incredible watches in terms of design and affordability, not only economical affordability, but also wearability and everything. So they're getting a lot of momentum at the moment, and I think it's a part of the market that wasn't explored before. So much so that even bigger brands now, they do limited runs of a few affordable pieces, and then they become very coveted. So it is a thing, and I think it's something that was missing, and it was always present in watchmaking and in the watch business. I mean, all those crazy shapes from the 60s and 70s, they weren't necessarily unaffordable pieces, but they were very affordable pieces. So anyway, he asked me to be part of this new project, and he said, could you take care of the watch, the product, but also the communication, the brand identity? So he said, can you be the artistic director of everything? I accepted, because I think it's a big challenge to design something hopefully appealing with the constraint of the budget. So, there's only so much you can push. Relatively, it's easier to design for a 20, 30, 40,000 pounds watch, because you got more freedom to embellish, to be fancy here and there. So to stay within the constraint of the entry level, you really have to think hard in order to give the perception of a good product, but staying within the budget. So we're very happy with the outcome. I mean, it was nothing but surprising, the reception of the watch when we launched it last year in August. I mean, everyone was so happy to see something like that.
I was there during Geneva Watch Days.
Yes, exactly. You were the first one amongst the first people to see it. It retains a lot of design elements, so we didn't want to go back to a historic reference. We want to create something from scratch, and I must admit, I'm very proud of what we managed to achieve in terms of quality. When you handle the watch, it's a very complex case, complex.
There's so many nuances.
Dial and but most of all is the developments that we're gonna have now this year, next year, with the new references, the new color combinations that are exciting, because they guarantee a very organic longevity to a new brand, and it's. I'm very happy. Every time I wear it, someone stops me and asks me what the watch is.
That's the thing.
It's quite eye-catching.
It doesn't look its price,
It doesn't look its price. I don't think it does.
I think what people have failed to realize is that price doesn't necessarily always reflect product. And you can spend a lot of money on a lot of expensive things, and when you put them on your wrist, you don't necessarily feel they're of value. Whereas this feels of considerable value considering the price.
Exactly. That was the main memo that they gave me. Said, can we produce those? I said, I don't know. We need to figure out. But then the more we developed it, and the more we managed to cram in quality things like La Jouperet movement, for example. I mean, for this price, putting a La Jouperet is anyway a sign of Saffiano leather, personalized buckle, the beautiful box. So the whole set, we managed to squeeze everything in, because you need to get into the market in a competitive way. And when competition is not the amount of marketing you put in, but actually the value of the product. I think people are going back to that. They want to see value for what they pay for.
But not only that, there's nothing else on the market that has the same Art Deco appeal to it. I mean, it really is a beautiful object.
It's a bit. There's a lot of references that came to my mind, but his main thing is that even if it's very complex, the case has 7 parts. It's a pebble. It's a one-off, pebbly feel when you hold it and when you have it on your wrist. So it's I'm very happy. And plus, what's coming will be very eye-catching. It's going to be between watch days and between Watches and Wonders and Watch Days. There will be a series of releases which are quite eye-catching and quite interesting. It will be very cool.
Amazing.
It's beautiful.
And you designed everything from the case, the logos,
Everything. Case, lugs, crown. The fonts for the numerals is they're not set numerals. I designed the numerals, and of course the logo and the everything that goes with it. The color combination, the brand identity, the literature, the box. Beautiful box is contained in absolutely, and all the communication assets, of course, the video,
incredible. It's
the
really
whole curation.
Really thought out. And you see yourself as a reflection in a product like this, because I mentioned already, you're a man of fine taste, and whether it's the way you dress, the way you construct a sandwich, you do things to the nth degree. You put an intent behind everything. There is purpose for it.
I tend to fall in love with a lot of things, and to, when I like something, I get to know exactly what I'm talking about. I'd rather know less things but thoroughly than a lot in a shallow way. And probably that's the. But mind you, what inspired me at the beginning of because I don't come from a creative path. I studied law, so it was anything but creative. But the same things inspirations, the same sources that inspired me all those years ago when I started drawing, because if I wanted to tattoo, I had to start drawing, and I couldn't draw. I mean, I never drew. I was the worst one in art in my class because I didn't care. But when I started caring, then I started drawing 15 hours a day. And the same references that I had back then, they still influence me these days. It's the same, a bit wider, but the same historical and decorative references are pretty much the same. Now I can interpret them better, I can visualize them better, I can use them better. But I got a big library at home with reference books from anything from the Middle Ages up until the 60s, the 70s, and everything in between. But the same decorative art that inspired me back then, they still inspire me today. And I still manage to find new little nuances that I haven't used before, because I think they transmit. So there is, in everything I do, there is a little bit of reference to the past, the inspiration for the past, but I try to contextualize it and make them actual, because I think the past retain a charm that the present doesn't have. I'm definite for the way people were carrying themselves, maybe because we're not there, from the arts, how people were behaving, the cars, the decorative arts, the effort, the craftsmanship. Everyone had to be able to make a good pair of shoes, be able to sing a song in tune. They have to be able to play the piano flawlessly if they wanted to succeed up until a certain point. So you have to be skillful in order to stand out. These days,
no, you just choose
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter much. It depends how much marketing you have behind. So that attitude, I like to drag from that. But of course, you can't be redundantly retro all the time. You have to be contextualize it and make a modern object. So that's my train of thoughts and my train of creation. Every time I have to approach something, I go and pick my histories and my stories and my books, and then from there I grab a corner or something, and then I run with it. And then it reminds me of another thing, which I need to go back into the library and find an image that I have in my mind. It's clearly there, but I can't remember what book it's in. So I have to drag them all out until I find it. I go like, I was right. You see that, and so there's a constant back and forth talk to myself every time I have to design or create something until I package it, and then you fine tune until you refine completely. Yeah. But the first idea is usually, so far, is still the best one. Let's see if it carries on like that.
No, to me, it's funny because I can see both past nostalgia and futurism in the product. So I really understand what you're talking about, and I think it's reflected in the product because it feels like you imagine what the future would look like in an Art Deco time.
Yes, very good.
Wow.
I'll use it. I will use this definitely. My resume. I will use it. Thank you very much.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. That's very kind of you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for today.
It's been a pleasure to have you, and
pleasure being here.
Next time we're going to do it on your Riva. We're going to
hopefully, yeah. We can't cook in there as much as it's going to be a pre-packed lunch, but we can talk about.
We'll make a good cocktail.
Yeah, we'll make cocktails. Cocktails we can make.
Fantastic.
Plenty. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.